Alright, so guys, welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, the International Women's Day boss rush has just arrived, and I thought, like, why not just record it and post on the channel as I'm doing it, so that a few, if not many, players will be benefited from it. And as we go along, I'll also try to explain each and every fight and also the notes. For the first one, we are facing Elsa Bloodstone with Distract, Bleed Vulnerability, Life Transfer, Enhanced Special 1, and Gotcha Light. So for the first node, Distract, we don't have to worry much about, because there is Gotcha Light, meaning whenever you hit the opponent, you also place an Incinerate debuff, and it's likely that you will very soon end up placing 3 Incinerate debuffs, and the Distract node will no more be a problem. So apart from that, we have Bleed Vulnerability, meaning she will take more damage while she has Bleed debuff on. But the problem is, if you don't use a mutant champion, whenever you try to place a Bleed on her, you will also take degeneration damage. So ideally, you would want to use a mutant champion who can place a Bleed debuff. In this case, we are using Archangel, and there are 2 reasons for that. Number 1, he can place Bleed debuff, and again, the second reason being his defensive ability cannot be reduced, and otherwise Elsa has a chance of purifying the parry stun and eventually counter attack. So to prevent that, we are using Archangel, but you can also use other champions like Proxima Midnight, for instance, or any champion whose ability cannot be reduced. The new one, even Apocalypse, can be used. But other than that, the fight is pretty much simple. You just place a Bleed debuff using a mutant champion, and the fight will be really quick. So moving on, the next one is a little bit tricky, especially because of the nodes here, namely Stun Immunity, Shatter, Arc Overload 2, Aspect of Evolution, and also Under Pressure. So the 3 nodes, Under Pressure, Aspect of Evolution, and Stun Immunity, will be keeping you under pressure actually. That's because she gains power by her own, by her passive ability, and she'll be spamming a lot of special ones, and eventually, because of the Aspect of Evolution node, the damage will be getting higher and higher, and also because of the Disarray node, your block proficiency will be going down and down. So the idea is to pretty much finish the fight as soon as possible, so that you don't die before kind of knocking her out. So ideally, you would want to bring a champion who can reverse her healing, maybe, or someone who cannot be nullified, for instance Thing or Red Guardian, or maybe others too, which I cannot remember right now. But for our case, we are using Human Torch with free fight ability, so that we can possibly reverse her regeneration and hopefully finish the fight quick enough before she can kind of get me down. And so the strategy is to pretty much push out SP2, so that we don't have to consume a lot of time, because the SP1 is kind of very long in terms of duration, and kind of you cannot even counter back after that. So we are trying to, but the problem being she is stun immune, so we are pretty much maintaining the distance so that she doesn't throw the SP1, and also with the Nova Flames we will be trying to reverse her regeneration and likely finish the fight as soon as possible. So let's see. So as you can see, she's almost down, and it's over. No, not yet. And now it's over. Okay, so that was it for this one. And also you can use other champions who can kind of reverse the regeneration or take a lot of block damage, but ideally the regeneration reversal will be the best strategy in my opinion. Moving on, we have Black Widow with some interesting nodes, which are heavy hitter, enhanced abilities, stun vulnerability, and energize and power reserve. So nodes are very trickily stitched together because of enhanced abilities. You will not be able to parry stun her, and then she will charge her heavy. That means then she will be unstoppable and you cannot counter that, and like this she will be pushing you back to the wall and kind of discombobulate you, so you would ideally want to use a champion who can consistently parry her, like a what do you call it, Proxima or Apocalypse or Archangel, so that you don't have to deal with that problem which I stated earlier. But for another reason, we are using Corvus Clay, because we'll be using him for the boss fights, and she has 2 charges for me, so we are after the evade charge for the first time. That's why we are trying to hit her on the block, so that once she evades, we'll try to knock her down once and then get that evade charge, sorry, the true strike charge. And also don't try to kind of counter her after her heavy, because it is she'll be unstoppable during that, and pretty much so. So right now we are only trying to bait her evade, so that we can get our 4th charge, which will be really helpful for the boss fight. The problem is she's not evading at all. Oh, sorry mate, that was so embarrassing. Anywho, let's keep moving. We just have to knock her down now once. Okay, here we go. Boom. Now we have the true strike and also 1 charge. So pretty much the idea is to kind of stun her and then use our attack for maximum damage. So now we'll try to rush to our SP2, so that after that, whenever we can kind of stun her, we'll throw it and hopefully do a massive damage. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. That was juicy. Anyway, so we'll rush to another SP2 if possible, or maybe not, maybe that won't be needed. We have, okay, I think it should be enough. Can we reach to SP2? Go. So that was it. But still, if you are not using Corvus for the boss, I would suggest you to use other options which are more ideal for this fight. Likely you can use Apocalypse or Archangel, or maybe Proxima Midnight. So this one again is Jubilee, or what her name was, maybe Jubilee. So she has Feet of Energy, and that means she'll be gaining one bar of power whenever you reach to your first bar of power, and also she has rich gets richer. That means whichever champion has more buffs will gain more power, and she also has minor aspect of that, meaning SP3 will kill you instantly, and she will also be periodically gaining power, and also there is this array or something which will give random buffs or debuffs to both the opponents. So you have to be aware that whenever she throws in SP1 or SP2, she can also be unstoppable sometimes, so you have to be very much aware of that. And also because of the buffs she gains after special attacks, it could trigger Rich Gets Richer, and she could gain a lot of power. So right now we are only sacrificing our Proxima so that we can get another charge for Corvus. So ideally we'd want to push her down to a low health and hopefully finish her. That was a mistake. I don't know why I left that heavy while she was unstoppable, but anywho, we'll just try to get this charge and then throw the SP3 and see how much damage it deals, and then hopefully finish with Corvus and get the third charge for him, and hopefully that will help us for the boss fight. Okay, that should be enough, and we can quit now. Alright, I wish I could have taken her a little bit more, below maybe 20%, but it's okay. Hopefully it should not be a big deal. And as soon as we can reach to the SP2, it should be enough for us to kill her. And she has reached to SP2. Okay, we don't want to take any risks. Boom, boom, boom. Awesome. So Jubilee done, and now we have 3 charges for Corvus, and the next one is pretty interesting. It's actually fun because the notes are awesome. So basically you want to bring a champion who does projectile based attacks. We have, and the notes to be precise are pull, which means projectile based attacks deal 100% more damage, and non-projectile based deals 75% less damage, and also she has power shield, meaning only special attacks deal damage, unless of course you have passive damage over time debuffs. And also all her special attacks are unblockable, and it has combo party and psychic thorns, which is very interesting, meaning whenever you do physical damage or maybe a contact based damage, you will be taking a damage back, but whenever you use a non-contact or projectile based attack, you will be regenerating 100% of the damage dealt. So our idea is to heal Human Torch, and because SP1 is projectile based, and as you can see we are almost at a full bar. The only problem you could face here is our special attacks are unblockable, and our SP2 can be a little bit tricky for some players. So ideally you don't want to push her to SP2, but for me I am decently comfortable with the SP2, so I'll not mind pushing her to 2 buff. So apart from that, the fight is pretty much simple. Human Torch with his incinerates should be able to kind of beat her quite easily, and also because his SP1 is projectile based, he will be doing a lot of damage with that as well. So the fight should not be a problem. And as you can see, we have pushed her to SP2 and we did dexterities. You have to evade quite a number of hits on a SP2. We'll just, this SP1 should probably kill her. Yes, it does. So that was pretty much it, and now we are at the boss fight, I guess. And the boss fight can be a little bit tricky, which was tricky for me as well. Let's see. Well, for this one you'd pretty much want to bring someone either who can do guaranteed critical hits, or someone who can decrease enemy abilities, because as you can see there is micro reflect, meaning whenever the defender glances any attack, you will take damage back. And as you know, Storm Pyramid X glances quite a lot, and that can be really tricky, unless of course you can prevent her from glancing, either by using guaranteed crits or by decreasing her abilities by other means, like using Archangel or Mexic Black Widow. And the former strategy, as you will see in a bit, did not work pretty fine. Actually, I was trying Corvus Glaive because of his guaranteed glaive hits, but as you will see in a bit, things do not go as planned, as she happens to glance even the glaive hits from Corvus, so my plan kind of did not work right here. But still, I'm hoping that my special 2 crits, and hopefully we can do a little bit of damage. And I also have Ghost for the backup, and I hope she can bypass this glancing. And we are pretty much at 2 bars of power, and hopefully this will be crits, and luckily this does. So now we pretty much have 6 glaive charges, and after that I'll have to wait until I have my charges back. And to be honest, I'm not pretty good at kind of delaying this fight like this as an aggressive kind of player. Still, I'm trying my best, but it's a long time before I get my charges back. Still trying my best. And the problem is I cannot even hit her on the block, because one glance and I'm down. So let's try. Let's keep trying. No. Okay, anyhow, I did my best, but perhaps I was not skilled enough. So if you are skilled enough, you can just keep dexting her until you have your charges back, and possibly kill her afterwards. So as you can see, we are using Ghost. She's even glancing Ghost guaranteed crits, but hopefully our special 2 will not be glanced, and we'll finish the fight. So we have our special tool ready, we launch it and it kills her. Whew, finally. So as you can see, that was it, and we have a gift box, I guess. I'm not sure what is in there. Okay, it's a profile pic, and also a 5-star Women of Power crystal. Okay, I'll take that, and let's choose our profile picture. We have Tigra. Okay, we have Tigra, so I'll choose Tigra because of course he's my favorite. And boom, so we have claimed the profile picture, and now we'll go for the crystal. And to be honest, I don't even know who I want from this. Jubilee would be good because I don't have her, and apart from that, I don't know. No one specific. Let's just go for it. And She-Hulk dupe would be good. Ghost is already maxing. Tiger? No. Was She-Hulk? No. Morningstar? Okay, more 6 on her. I'll take that because I love using her, and she's one of my favorite, and I'm quite happy with that. So anyway, this was the video, and hopefully you liked it, and I also hope that it helps you clear the quest, and pretty much so. And if you like the video, please go ahead and click like, leave a comment, and also subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that every time I post a video you kind of get notified instantly, and also stay tuned for the Cavalier 4-star videos, which I'll be posting really soon. And till then, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.